Hey everybody, welcome to the Legacy Up channel. Thank you for tuning in to another episode, another video. Appreciate every single one of you. My name is Giovanni Rodriguez. I'm a serial entrepreneur, formerly in the corporate world and leadership for various years, almost 10 years, and then decided to go on my entrepreneurial journey. And now I have this channel to help all of you gain and achieve long-term success and create your legacy. And it doesn't have to mean just in wealth, right? When I say legacy, I don't mean only talking about generational wealth or wealth, even though that could be a part of it, and a lot of times it is. But I'm talking about other things that we can leave behind, be it our things that people can identify in our character, the way we make decisions, the way we treat others, the way we're able to impact other people's lives, and the value we provide. That's the type of legacy we're going to be talking about on this channel. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in having long-term success in your life, be it in business, your personal life, spiritually, then stay tuned to this channel. Subscribe, like the video. I appreciate it because we want to reach as many people as we can and have a fabulous team of legacy builders who are looking to make a great impact in the world and leave something long lasting and very special behind. Now, let's get into this episode. On this one, it's going to be a really interesting topic because we're going to talk about discipline. Maybe some of you guys are gonna like it. Maybe some of you are like, oh, Giovanni, you're gonna start talking about discipline now. Now you're gonna start, throwing jabs at us. No, don't worry. I'm doing this. Everything I do on this channel is to help us grow and become better, and create and build a better self, a better person at the end of the day, so that we can do great things. And to do that, discipline is involved. I mean, we have so much going on, right, in our daily lives. I mean, you've got, some of you may have school, you're studying a lot. Some of you may be finishing your doctor's degree, master's degree, while also building your business or having a corporate job and juggling family as well, maybe. Others of you maybe already have passed a certain part in terms of in the education system, even though I believe we're always educating ourselves and should always be looking to expand our knowledge, right? That's one of the pillars of a successful legacy. But we're always, we're in different stages of our lives, but in each one of those different stages, right? No matter if you're still in a phase of studying, or if you're in a phase of now growing and developing your legacy, creating your business, or if you're growing within your corporation and helping them build something great and you're a part of that, no matter where you're at in any one of those journeys, discipline is going to be a big part of your success or your failure. So that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's a very important factor. Sometimes people sort of realize and understand they need it, but it's probably one of the more difficult ones because it requires a lot of self-assessment, which means you have to really evaluate yourself and make adjustments accordingly so that you can then become more self-disciplined. So we're going to be talking more in terms of self-discipline on this episode, because that's what we need. We need that self-discipline to be able to achieve great things, to be able to achieve success in whatever it is our objectives are. And those, I'm going to be going over three main points that you need to focus on to help achieve great self-discipline, so that then you can be successful in whatever it is that you're focusing on at this moment. So stay tuned to that. Let's get into the first point, right? First point, when we create habits and adjust our mindset, that's a start to being self-disciplined. All right, so that's the first point. You got that? So it's basically create habits and adjust your mindset. That's the first point. So there's a great book called Atomic Habits. You could go ahead and check it out. Maybe some of you have already read it. If you haven't, it is very worthwhile read. Check that out because it talks about how you have to continually be looking to make changes and create healthy habits that help you achieve your goals. Because if you create very targeted, very great habits, then that's basically creating the road for you towards success. And habits can either make or break you, right? Because you could have good habits or bad habits, right? If you have a bad habit of every time you get out of work, which I used to see this a lot in the corporate world, there's a lot of people who had a bad habit of every time they left work, since they were not fully happy with what they were doing on a day-to-day basis, before they would go home, they would stop to get a beer or get alcohol. And that's a bad habit, which could lead to an addiction, right? Then there's good habits, which is people who wake up early and are ready to go and already have their day scheduled on what they're going to do first and what they're going to be focused on, what are their priorities, right? Another good habit could be the night before you have like a checklist of things you've done great in the day and maybe things you could have improved on, and then prepare yourself for your next day so that you can become better and become more successful the next day and become better than the day you just finished. Those are good habits, right? So habits are also a bit hard to change. So if you've already got bad habits, you have to switch your mindset, which is why they're both together in this one point. Once you switch your mindset to realize that, you know what, I have to stop doing this if I want to achieve better results. I have to try this, and that's what a big part of also developing habits is getting together with the right people who also have great habits and who also exemplify and are an example for you of what you want to achieve and already doing great things and have good habits in place. You want to be next to those people. You want to be close to them, learning from their habits so that you can apply them. The ones that apply to you, apply them to your life so that you can then take action and start changing your habits and making good habits, which will help you change your mindset and eventually get you to reaching success. So that's the first point. Get close to people, network. That's why I love this channel, and hopefully we'll be able to create a community where we can help support each other in areas like this. But if you it's sometimes better if you want to see people in person. That's great as well. And I would suggest you look for a community, that is within the space that you're dealing with. If you're an entrepreneur, look for a community of entrepreneurs. If you're a person in corporate, look for people who are also looking to do great things within the corporate structure and the corporate world. Connect with people online. LinkedIn is also a great place to connect with people professionally. So there's a lot of different options for you to connect with different people within what you're trying to achieve, and you can find good people within those different networking situations. You also have to realize though that first you have to identify what good habits are so you can know who those people you want to be close to are and if they do really have good habits. And once you identify that, you get close to them and you start adjusting your mindset so you can have those good habits, because those habits are going to help you go into what we call like an autopilot mode, which is what I'm gonna talk about soon. But basically, when you create great habits, you basically create sort of this autopilot function within your brain, and that helps you when you're gonna make decisions. You're able to make them a lot quicker, because since you've already got the habits, you already know what works, you already know what's making you successful, because you're doing it constantly every day, right? And that's a part of discipline, is doing something consistently and having a standard, right, set up so that you consistently go and are doing and are following these standards and guidelines that you've set for yourself on a daily basis. That's going to help you go into autopilot and make the best decisions every single time, because now you're not thinking as much because you've already established your habits, you've already established your guidelines. Now you just got to make sure that every decision you make, you're following what you established. All right, and once that happens, you start getting into the dynamic of what I call like an autopilot in decision making, where now the decisions are a lot less, how do I say it? You don't have to think as much, right, to make those decisions, because you've already set yourself up with the right habits that are going to help you consistently make the right decisions. And as you continue to develop and change your mindset and create even better habits, then this decisions will be made a lot more easier and a lot more effectively. All right, so keep that in mind in this first point. Let's go to the second point, right? We've already talked about mindset and how you have to, right, create better habits so that your mindset starts changing and you're able to make better, more effective decisions. That's the first point. Now we got to go to the second point, which is when we start creating those habits, when we've already, we're trotting along and we're on a roll and we're finally starting to make some adjustments. It's not going to be easy, right? I had a previous video on that topic where creating a legacy isn't easy. It isn't at all. It's actually pretty hard because you have to be self-disciplined, like we're talking about now, to make the right decisions even when you don't feel like doing it, even when you're not in the best mood, right? Even when you don't have the utmost motivation to do something, still doing it at the end of the day, because you know that's what you need to do to be successful. And a part of this, and this is the second point, is you got to reward yourself. So reward yourself to help your brain understand the right things that you should be doing. And this helps to teach your brain what it is that's correct. And that way, when you reward yourself when doing the right thing, for example, if you, for a whole week, you stood on track with your schedule, you were able to hit those things that you wanted to do every single day that were a priority, and maybe one day you just missed one thing, but all the rest of the days you were able to hit it. Well, that week you could reward yourself with something and pre-establish that, so that way your brain starts to identify, oh, okay, this was the right thing to do. I got rewarded for it. You know what? I want to do it again because I want to get rewarded again. And you have to basically sort of just start forming and adjusting your mind and your brain so that it starts recognizing these new habits as something normal and as something that's the correct way to do something. Because as you've developed incorrect and bad habits, your brain is actually assimilating that those bad habits are the right thing to do. So even though they're bad, your brain isn't really assimilating bad or good. All it's seeing is, okay, Giovanni does this every single day and he gets satisfaction from it, so let's continue to do it. Now you have to teach your brain what's the correct thing to do, and this is how you do it, which is rewarding yourself when you actually are disciplined, when you actually do the right things, when you actually follow up and accomplish what you said you were going to do. You reward yourself, so that way it helps your brain understand, and you start making that shift, that mindset shift to, okay, these are the habits, these are things I want to do, and your brain starts saying, oh, I was rewarded for this, so this is what I should always be doing. And it helps you to really be more self-disciplined and to develop that self-discipline as you reward yourself. It's, for example, people a lot of times do this when you're doing a diet, right? Where you're, a whole week, you didn't miss a gym day. Woo! Yes, you didn't miss a gym day, you're pumped. Well, you know what? Go ahead on that, that weekend on a Saturday, go ahead, go to your favorite ice cream shop. Get yourself, some ice cream or some gelato or whatever it is that you like in terms of sweets. You know what? Go ahead. Have that for that one day and reward yourself because you did a good job, and that's going to help your brain identify that that's what you want to continue to do, because you want to continue to be rewarded for that effort. So that's the second point. Reward yourself, and don't be like a drill sergeant on yourself all the time, because this is going to help you create those correct habits and adjust your mind and your brain to wanting to do those things. Now, let's hit on the last point. So we've already got the first 2 points. Now let's hit on the last one in terms of how discipline will help us achieve success and create our legacy, right? When you make the wrong decision, don't be so hard on yourself, right? And just forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and just move forward. Don't bash yourself and don't, because there's enough going on in our lives, right? And it's hard enough as it is for you to change bad habits into good ones, because it takes time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes you falling and getting back up again and getting back on the horse, so that way you could keep pushing forward. And that's a big key to it, because sometimes a lot of us may be perfectionists, right? A lot of you may be that you feel like you should be performing every single day at the highest level possible, which is great. It's great to have that energy and to have that motivation, but is it realistic, right? Are you really going to be on your game and 100% at the top level every single day, all the time? Unfortunately, no. Even the best in the world, for example, players like Michael Jordan, for example, he lost games. He missed a lot of crucial shots, game-winning shots. He made a whole bunch as well, and has a lot of championships, and we remember him for those championships. But we tend to forget that he was disciplined enough to continue shooting the shots. He was disciplined enough to continue wanting the ball in those crucial moments, and it paid off. And he was able to make an impact and a legacy in the sport of basketball. Same thing with our lives. We're gonna miss shots. We're gonna miss some game winners. We're gonna lose some games. But it's important that, are we gonna focus on the losses, or are we gonna focus on the next game and how we could get better so we could win, right? That's the key to it. Forgive yourself, move forward, get better, and continue to develop yourself, develop your mindset, develop control of your emotions, develop yourself spiritually, and all of these different aspects will help you to be more self-disciplined. And as you continue to learn and expand your knowledge and apply it, you can then become more self-disciplined and achieve more of your objectives, more of your goals, and also reach success and create that legacy that you want. So those are the 3 points, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you learned something today. And maybe if it's not, you didn't learn something new, maybe you got a refresher and you're like, whoa, I sort of have heard of that before, but I totally have forgot about that. I hope that this was of some value for you, so that you can become more self-disciplined and really, really go in and create a great legacy, because that's what this channel is about. Is helping you grow, helping you achieve that long-term success in whatever it is you're trying to do. And a part of that is going to be these type of topics, and specifically in this one, discipline is a big one, guys. If you don't have discipline, then you're going to be all over the place, and you may have great potential, but then you'll fall off and you'll think that you were a failure, and it really wasn't. You're not a failure. We all have great potential. Thing is, if we're not disciplined enough to focus that potential, if we're not disciplined enough to stick to the things we say we're going to do, then it's not going to work out, no matter how great of a potential and how smart we are. So for example, in me, just before we go and finish this video, I'm doing these videos every single day, just so you know. So I'm being disciplined to make sure I create these videos on a daily basis and upload them to the channel. And that sometimes is difficult considering all the other things I have going on. But why am I doing it? Because I know that it's a value to everyone who may be watching this. It's going to be a value to people in the future who subscribe to the channel and need help in different areas. And that really fills me up and motivates me to keep going and putting up these videos. I want this to be a part of my legacy and a part of what I'm trying to build. So it requires me to put in the work and be consistent, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's why these videos are going up every single day. So stay tuned to more videos. We'll be uploading them daily. Subscribe, like, appreciate all of you. Thank you. Let's legacy up.